We talked to Drew Lipton about making his return at BKFC 15 this Friday against Harris Stephenson. And that starts right now.
It's been a while since we talked. What's going on with you, buddy?
So first off, I signed with Brothers Management. Just kind of getting my name back out there, doing things right. Being a fighter that's been in it for so long and has kind of an upside-down MMA record, and then still new with bare knuckle, only fighting once a year. I knew I had to do something different. I needed to really get my name back out there and do things the right way and better ways. And so I got with Kevin and them, and they just brought me right in, man, started treating me like family. Just opportunities right away just started coming. And besides that, just, working, taking care of the kids, and just waiting for this opportunity to come. And now here it is. So just staying ready, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty blessed.
How did you get hooked up with Kevin?
Well, I just knew him from fighting before, and I saw that he was putting out his management stuff on Facebook and everywhere else, and I was kind of keeping an eye on it. I was talking to a few people, and as soon as I talked to him and just sent him a message, it was just like, hell yeah, man. And for me, that's really good. I've trained at a lot of places, talked to a lot of different management, always kind of done my own little thing, and that's been good and bad. And so with them bringing me in is awesome. It's just like, I don't really have a big family, a close family. Same with friends, just never really have. And so for him to bring me in and just his team to surround me with love and, just looking out for my best interests is just, it's fresh breath of air.
Well, I imagine too, because it's got to be a relief in terms of now you can literally just focus on training and the fight instead of all the other BS and, all the numbers and all the this and that. I imagine it's got to take a lot of stress off of you as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because it's like, trying to do your own hustle, and try not to get set up and then looking everything up, and it adds to that taking away time from family and adds taking away time from your own training. And so, yeah, this has been nice, just being able to fight and know that I'm taken care of.
And I always ask, especially for someone I haven't talked to in a while, I always ask about, obviously this year's been crazy with, all the COVID shit and everything's nuts. So like, I don't want to go too deep into that, but I am interested in, how has it affected you in terms of, training? Because a lot of gyms got shut down. Some gyms are still shut down. How has it affected you and your fighting lifestyle? How's it affected you?
Right away, honestly, it didn't too much. I was just doing enough to keep in shape. After the David fight, not many people know this, but I kind of stopped training altogether a little bit. I was just having a rough time with the team, like connecting with people. I gained a lot of weight, man, like up to 205. And for a little guy like me, that's a lot of weight. And so when with Oklahoma, I live in Edmond, Oklahoma City area.
Yep.
They were one of the last ones to kind of like shut stuff down and the masks, and they're also the first one to kind of bring everything back.
Yep.
And so I was very blessed with the opportunity with American Elite MMA. As soon as they could open back up, man, they did, and they were just taking every precaution, and like from cleaning to the number of people in the class, but they were doing everything to get everybody back in. And so for me, that helped a lot of just getting back in shape and just getting back in there with the guys. And there's just a lot of people that, train there that are also fighters, and there's kids there and everything. So they really went out of their way for everybody to make sure that we could still do what we love. So for me, it wasn't really a big difference, other than like a month it was closed and that was it. And then we were right back in training.
Talk about it a little bit, man, because you just said, after your last fight, you kind of, maybe something like you stopped kind of working out as much, and you gained some weight, and it sounds like to me maybe you lost a little bit of love for what's going on, and now it seems like you're with Kevin Smith and Smith Brothers. Seems like you're on the road back. Like what has changed for you? What has changed for you to switch that mentality?
Yeah, I think after that fight, there was just so much going on in my head. It was like, I felt like I took that fight on like 2 weeks notice at 185 pounds. I was walking around at 183 at the time. So, I mean, given at the time, no one knew how good David would be at bare knuckle. And so it was a good fight, but I felt like, I got clipped in the back of the head. Like I wasn't out. I just took a moment. They called it too quick. And then it was really hard, like, for me to get another fight. And I was like sitting there trying different things, right? I tried calling out these UFC vets. I tried calling out Isaac. I tried talking shit. I tried just, befriending everybody and being the nice guy. And like, I was trying every little thing and just could not get on a card, could not get fights. And I was just kind of like, well, maybe this is a sign. Cause I already thought about, like, okay, like 1 or 2 more fights, hang it up, and then that fight happened. I was like, oh, I'm going to hang it up. But everybody was like, you're just, you're on a hard path, man. Just keep going, keep doing it. And, even people like Nate Shook, like, behind the scenes and all that, and just people in my own camp, they were just telling me like, hey, keep with it. But mentally, I was just really defeated because I was like, okay, well, all these people supposedly like me, say I'm a good guy, say I'm a good fighter, all this stuff, but I can't get a fight. And so I kind of just took a moment to like just focus on work. And then I realized, as bare knuckle kept blowing up, it's like, I'm going to have to get on a whole new level to keep up with this now that they're just getting, star after star and bigger fighters. So I kind of got discouraged a little bit, honestly. And not a lot of people like to admit that shit. But, like for me, I'm like, hey, yeah, man, I got discouraged. I was like, can I hang with these guys? What the fuck am I even doing here? And as I got with Kevin and as I got back into training and I moved out to the country and, got me some animals, got me a baby goat, some chickens, some ducks, just got like my support system back and just, little stuff that you just, you don't realize you miss until you get back with, God, and you get back with a good team and good friend circle. And as I started losing that weight again and just kind of getting that right mentality, I was like, all right, man, I can do this. And sure enough, now I'm just like, I'm back down in weight. I'm walking around at like 185, which is where I like to walk around at before a fight, and then just kind of see where things go from there and get it down again. But it definitely took a little bit of that mental struggle. So.
No, you know what, man, and a lot of fighters have commented because I think it was kind of a similar situation for a handful of guys where as far as like taking a lot of their fights on short notice with with BKFC, everything was still new. They were still working out the kinks, and they still are. They're a growing company, and the roster's growing, the audience is growing, their production is growing. Like every show, every ounce of it, every facet of it is growing. And I think with the whole thing of a lot of these guys taking short notice fights and stuff, hopefully it gets back to where these, you guys have the proper time to train, the 8 weeks to 12 weeks, whatever it is, you guys need to actually go through a camp, because I've seen a lot of you guys go through, 2 weeks notice, surprise, fight in 2 weeks, everybody,
Right.
I mean, that's got to get a little, I don't want to say old, but, I'm sure it's a great opportunity, to be on a good card, but I have to imagine there's got to be a part that's like, damn, man, if I would have had fucking 8 more weeks, maybe I could have went in here and.
Oh yeah, and that's how I realized when you're managing yourself and like when you're getting yourself these other fights, you're getting those short notice fights aren't against guys that are 2-2 or nobodies or whatever, however you want to word it. It's usually against these like main event guys that are from, killer camps, and they've had that camp, and, it's like a lot of these. So it's like, it's like you're stepping up, and that's great. People look at you good, but it's not necessarily always the best thing. I mean, and sometimes it is, but, I felt like for me after that fight, like I was like, okay, I kind of felt like they owed me a little bit for stepping up so short, and then not to that. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I just need to reassess this and just wait for that right opponent instead of just jumping in on the next card and the next payday.
Well, it's funny, not funny to him, but maybe an opposite scenario would be Jim Ellers, for example. Jim Ellers, he said his first 4 fights, they were all short notice fights. They were all like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, that kind of thing. The Palomino fight was actually the first fight that he said he had a full camp. And look what happened.
I mean, camp though, whole nother level.
Well, no, correct. I'm not taking anything away. Trust me, I'm not taking anything away. I just thought it was maybe an interesting comparison. Like, well, your short notice fights went one way, and the one fight you do have a full camp, it goes this way. So, it's interesting, man.
Yeah,
but
all that superstition stuff,
Yeah. I've learned that, especially the baseball and combat sports, for whatever reason, the two biggest superstition, like a lot of these guys are superstitious. The coaches, some of the different gyms, the fighters. It's interesting to see what they allow, what they don't like to do right before a fight, what they like to do right before a fight. Otherwise, they don't feel right. Yeah. I mean, do you have any weird?
Oh, yeah. So like in high school, like when my junior year, so like I guess quick backstory, I wrestled from the time I was 8 all the way until freshman year of college. I was always, first or third placing, all that. My freshman year of high school, I just go and get my ass kicked, man. Like 4-20, I'm just like, what the? Sophomore year, do a little bit better, like 15. So my junior year, ended up having a really good coach, personal relationship with them, all that. And so we have like these purple gold bright ass uniforms. And for some reason, like I have this bright blue headgear. But man, that season I was ranked 2nd in Northern California, scholarship offers, ended up going like 1 round before California State, which I'm just from a small Northern California town. So somebody from like where we only have a Walmart and the Safeway, that's pretty great, And so that next year came and I was just like, man, I did not let go of that headgear. Like it did not match anything. Like I had everything matching pretty good down to the shoes and the underwear, but like that headgear, man, it was just like my lucky thing. But now as far as fighting goes, I just have like a rule of just like no drama. So like whoever comes with me to the fights, like whoever I'm talking to on the phone, I'm just like, if you have an issue, fucking block that shit out till tomorrow. But like fight day, I allow no drama, like no arguments, no nothing. Like I need a peaceful, happy day before I go, punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, just that no negative energy, I guess, right?
Yeah, I just feel like any kind of negative energy like automatically puts doubt in my mind or like.
Well, it's contagious. It's contagious.
So I'm very much like just drop it if it's not important.
Yeah, it's contagious, man. I mean, so is good energy, right? Good energy is contagious. Negative energy is contagious. I think that's kind of an important. Not to get all Dr. Phil on anybody because this isn't that kind of show, but it's important, I think, to keep those positive. I call them positive vibrations, those positive energies in your life, man. Because negative people, toxic people, man, can just kill your spirit, man. It sounds corny and cheesy, but they can kill your dreams, they can kill your mojo, just destroy everything about you, man. So I get rid of those toxic people, dude. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Now, onto the really good stuff.
It's kind of funny because Harrison and I talk quite a bit, and I have him and his wife on Instagram, on Facebook. Like I follow his career, like. We talk, so it's kind of one of those like, man, I didn't want to fight my buddy,
right?
But we both talk, man, and I was like, hey, no matter what, we get a beer after, we still remain buddies, like no matter the outcome. And he was like, fuck yeah, man, and because we both, holidays need the little extra, money in our pockets, and his fights have been falling out left and right from MMA to bare knuckle. He just hasn't had. Good luck on these guys following through. And so I know me and I know I will. So I ran it through Kevin and then he ran it through the guys at BKFC. And yeah, man, we got that contract done the day before Thanksgiving, and was just waiting for the right time to announce everything. But we're definitely excited. I mean, again, another short notice, but if this gets me back in there and gets me back in the talks and the rankings and all that, that's what I have to do.
Well, congrats. Hey, I love that fight. You and Harris.
Oh, yeah.
I love that fight, man.
Yeah,
I love that fight.
We're on that same level, and we're both kind of on that up and down streak. So it's like, man, if anything, I think this should be a top contender on already a stat card. But I feel like us fighting should already be talks of fight of the night.
And at 175, you said?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I think he's already right about there, and I'm not too far off. So
yeah. I'm pumped. That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations for getting the fight, man.
Thanks, man. I mean, again, it's it's Smith Brothers Management, man. They saw it, we talked about it, and it was just there. Just good, like you were saying before, good mojo, good people around, positive vibes, man. That shit just popped up, and we got on it.
Yeah. He that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to hear you getting a fight, and I'm glad to hear, like you said, you two can play punchy face, make some money, and have a drink afterwards, so you can still be pals. So
yeah, people are always like, "You're a fighter?" Like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you just got to learn to switch that, when you get in
turn
there.
That switch.
That switch, and like, you can still be buddies. You don't got to hate each other. But I'm like, hell yeah, I plan on knocking them the fuck out and then picking them right back up after, hugging them and going, like, that's like when I fought Chris, man. Like, me and Chris Lytle, man, I felt like we threw down pretty good. And right after, I, met his wife, talked to him, took pictures. So, like, just how I like to do things, man. I don't like to be mean. I don't like to talk shit. This is a business, and I like to just get in there, hit each other as hard as we fucking can. And yeah, man, like, I feel like the more people you can be friends with, the more people in your circle you can go train with, the better. Like, why am I going to create enemies just because we're fighting? Like, it does more for me to be your buddy after, and does more for you. Like, we can market this shit, we can talk, we can do all that, but I mean, you got to be real at the end of the day.
I tell people all the time, man, and I mean the fight game in general, but especially bare knuckle right now, it's a very small circle.
Oh yeah.
Right, you're going to see the same faces and the same people. Even with it growing, it's still a small community, and chances are, somebody knows somebody knows somebody knows somebody, and it's all connected. So 100% on that, buddy. Well, I tell you what, man, I think that's a good spot right there. Congratulations to you, man. Good luck to you. And there you go. The cat's out of the bag.
Oh yeah.
Drew Lipton versus Harris Stephenson, BKFC 15 on Biloxi on December 11th. Download that BKTV app. My God, it's $3.99 a month. Why wouldn't you?
Especially what it started out as. Like, get on that shit.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, go download that app. Go check out Drew Lipton. Drew, tell people where they can reach you or follow you on social media, man.
Yep. So on Twitter, just Drew Lipton MMA. Instagram and Facebook, Drew Lipton. It's all private, man, but I accept everybody. So just hit that request and all that, and get on there, as well as, again, Smith Brothers Management. Let's see, I'm trying to think of everybody. American Elite, Edmond, OKC, Deer Creek location, American Top Team, OKC. All those you can find me at. Just real quick, just one thing I wanted to throw in there. Hopefully I'm not taking up too much time.
Nope.
But, when I was younger, man, like, my dad was pretty abusive. Like, hit me a lot, called me gay, spit on me, told me I'd be nothing. Again, one horse town. People said I'd be nothing. Here I am, man, fighting on pay-per-view, third time, living my dream out in Oklahoma, just doing the best I can. So just, sometimes family, our dads, our parents, they can be our worst enemies, man, and drag us down. But I always believe we're our own, destination. We can get where we want to be, change our stars. So just anybody out there struggling with mental health, with their past, anything like that, just, keep going, keep pushing through. You can get to your dreams, man. I mean, I never thought I'd be where I am today, and I'm still chasing bigger dreams. So thank you for that. Letting me share that.
Hey, thank you for sharing that, man. That was an awesome message. Guys, Drew Lipton, everybody, we appreciate your time so much, sir. And once again, congratulations for getting the fight.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. And that's all I got, brother.
Great, man. Thank you again for having me on, man. I appreciate it. And
All right, man.
hopefully see you come December.
Hopefully, brother. Take care, man.
You too.